there. Well, the time has come for me to start a new book club session group. Again, if you've been around in my world for a bit, you know how much I love Warrior Goddess training. This book absolutely is a life changer. So I read this book the first time back in the end of 2016, beginning 2017. And I immediately just, it altered so much. Like, I just knew this book was going to play a huge role in my life, and it sure has. I immediately gifted it to several other women in my life, and came back to this book a few times. And then in 2018, I decided to host my first live book club session, and I had about 5 or 6 women who joined me, and we went through the book together. We did one lesson at a time, and we talked about it, and that was probably the most fascinating experience that I've had with a group of women, and to hear from so many different points of view on how this affected them and their thoughts on it, and it was just an unreal experience. So I continued to do that throughout 2019. I held more book clubs. 2020, didn't get that done, right? But in 2021, I brought it back. And we've been doing here at Creekside Wellness several other books as well when we finished with this one throughout 21 and 22. But I had to step away here in 23 and kind of refigure how I was going to give this offering, because it was very limited, only offering it here in a live format to people who could come to me here in Athens, Tennessee. So I've decided to do this on Patreon now, and I'm going to drop the link here in the notes, so you'll be able to click right on there. And if you do not have the book, I'll drop the link there so you can purchase this book as well. This is open to anyone, male or female. The book, of course, was written, guided at that time more towards women, but there's been men who've read this book and have learned a lot from it. The stories in it it's just a female based, but again, anyone can learn from these lessons. So, have you heard of Warrior Goddess training? Oh, you've not? Okay, let me tell you about it. Okay, so first of all, Heather Ashamare apprenticed with Don Miguel Ruiz. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote the 4 Agreements. Most people have heard of the 4 Agreements. A lot of people have read the 4 Agreements. So what she has done is has worked through that the 4 Agreements with Don Miguel Ruiz for, I think, about a decade. And then she wrote this book. Now, there was a few books that came before this one. This is the first one of hers that I read. There's been many that has come after. I will recommend every one of them. This one, again, is just fascinating. She has this as 10 lessons. And the lessons are as follows. Commit to you. Align with life. Purify your vessel. Ground your being and free your past. Energize your sexuality and creativity. Claim your strength and ignite your will. Open your heart. Speak your truth. Embody your wisdom. and choose your path. This has been fabulous. So I'm going to flip over here to the introduction. The very first quote is by Diane Ackerman. I don't want to get to the end of my life and find that I have lived just the length of it. I want to have lived the width of it as well. And then the very first paragraph, you are whole. You are powerful. You are divine. How did that feel for you? Did it feel good in your heart? Did you cringe at the thought of you being whole and powerful and divine? This book will guide you through the process of finding where you are domesticated, either through parental, through school, through just life structure, the ways that you are holding on to that are not yours. When you say things like, well, I should get up and clean the house now. Why should you? Are you tired? Or should you rest? Why should you? So this has you to ask those questions and to find those stories and take them out and rewrite your story. This is a beautiful book. And I hope that you will join me on this journey along with a few other women as we go through each lesson and work on the exercises at the end of each one. I am so excited to see you over on Patreon as we go through this book together. And when we complete this book, we'll find a new one. After 21 and 22, I usually follow this book up with the 4 agreements. It was a really good one to come in afterwards to just kind of help finish creating that container or making that container solid, and I don't know, helping with that foundation there. I know when I read the 4 agreements before working through this book, the lessons, it didn't stick. So when I read the 4 agreements again after this book, it was a brand new book. So that is the way I like to work that, but we'll see. We'll do it as a group. So thank you. I cannot wait to meet you over on Patreon. I'll see you there.